So this is going to be great, because I am pre-recording this video on the night of Tuesday, April 8th. It'll be uploaded in the morning of Wednesday, April 9th. And that means that there probably is going to be some new information that comes out in between the time I'm speaking into this microphone and the time the video is public on YouTube. So if we do have any other bigger pieces of info, if it's really big, we could go out there and make another video about it. There's nothing wrong with that. We've been doubling up on the videos about this topic for the past few days, and for good reason too. It is the hottest topic in the hockey world, aside, of course, Alex Ovechkin beating Wayne Gretzky's record, but that's news from a few days ago, so maybe it's not really the same. But of course, we are talking about the most popular man in Montreal, Ivan Demidov, one more time, because yesterday's signing of Demidov was met with not only the excitement and the projections and the predictions as to where it was Demidov would play, but we also had a little bit of extra info, just kind of sprinkles of information here and there, talking about Demidov needing a work permit and all this stuff. But today, in this video, we are diving into some of the extra info that was revealed after our video commentaries yesterday, and just diving into some of the comments, because take a look at this. It's a video on BPM Sports Talk's YouTube account. And I gotta be careful here, because if I'm not careful, the BPM Sports crew can steal all of my viewers, because they have themselves a live show that they ran yesterday wherein they literally interviewed Roman Rottenberg. I'm gonna leave a link in the description to the BPM show. It's mostly French, there is some English in there, but, you know, it's BPM Sports. What else do you expect? They had a 3-hour and 40-minute radio show yesterday that they also broadcasted onto YouTube. And quick aside, it seems like the folks on BPM have only recently started doing this entire thing, live streaming their radio program on YouTube. And I gotta say, man, if you're BPM Sports Talk Radio, all the power to you. YouTube is a very legitimate place to get viewers and engagement, not to mention the ad revenue. Not me going out there and trying to talk highly about this landscape to a multi-million-dollar media corporation, but they did have the show broadcasted on YouTube, and it was funny because there were a lot of folks going out there in the comments and on Twitter saying, oh, they're like crying tears of joy on the radio because Ivan Demidov's coming. That's kind of hilarious. And I'm like, yeah, it is kind of hilarious, but don't lie. Y'all were doing that too. I was doing that too. Everybody in Montreal Canadiens land that was even barely paying attention to Ivan Demidov was, in some respect, crying tears of joy because he left the KHL and ended up joining the Habs yesterday. But alas, we had ourselves some comments made by Roman Rottenberg on that BPM Sports Talk broadcast. He ended up saying this, that Ivan Demidov personally asked Roman to go to the NHL to show off his skills for the Habs. And Demidov also wanted to play against Alex Ovechkin and the Capitals in the playoffs. Now, we made a video yesterday about that same topic. Demidov versus Ovi, the two OVs, heading into the first round of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. Obviously, that video yesterday was made before the Habs defeated the Red Wings in regulation, but now that matchup does seem to be a lot more likely. The Canadiens' playoff odds are at 90-something%. It's kind of difficult to imagine them losing out at this point, but if the standings stay the way they are, they're going to be playing off against the Washington Capitals, and having that Demidov versus Ovechkin matchup is going to look fantastic. And the fact that Demidov himself went up to Roman Rottenberg and said, hey, I want to go to Montreal. I want to leave. I want to show off my skills, and I want to play against Ovechkin in the playoffs. I mean, Roman Rottenberg going out there and admitting that, yeah, that's kind of a quote right there. And if anything, the entire Russian factor of, oh yeah, Demidov wants to play with Ovechkin. Ovechkin's contract is not going to be around forever. This might be one of the only opportunities he has to play off against the best goal scorer the NHL has ever seen in a playoff series. So we're going to grant him that right to do that. it makes me wonder if Montreal was just better and they were playing off against Toronto in the first round instead of the Washington Capitals, would there still be some sort of a, oh yeah, I want to go to Toronto and I want to play off against Austin Matthews? Like, would Roman Rottenberg and the SKA folks be like, yeah, okay, great, that's a great idea. You can play off against Austin. Because it's Washington and Ovechkin, it's like, yeah, Ovi is the guy. And we could talk about him and have a good opinion about him because he's Russian and he does all this stuff and he just broke the goal record. There is a good level of realistic conversation that you could bring up, realistic reasoning that you can acknowledge in this situation. And of course, I'm not going to imply that SKA and Roman Rottenberg are fools that are going to go out there and just get swayed by any sort of a Russian commentary that has a Russian flavor to it. They know, obviously. It's just for optics' sake. They don't want to go out there and admit straight up, oh yeah, Demidov can go to the NHL and he can do some great things over there. No, they have the ability to say, yeah, he wanted to do it. He wanted to go himself. He wanted to play against Ovi, and we're not going to stop him from doing that. Take a look at this, also posted by Habs on Reddit on Twitter. SKA coach Roman Rottenberg is on BPM Sports right now, and he says that Ivan Demidov will score more goals with the Habs in the NHL than in the KHL. He expects Demidov to have an instant impact like Artemi Panarin. Now, the thing is, I will say, Artemi Panarin, when he had his immediate impact, his 77-point year playing with Patrick Kane, firstly, he was playing with Patrick Kane. And secondly, he was 24 years old when he suited up as a rookie. So it was entirely different than what Demidov is doing right now. He's 19. Panarin was 5 years older. It's why a lot of people were kind of upset when Panarin won the Calder Trophy over Connor McDavid, who was 18. But I digress. There's some extra info here. More onto this. Roman Rottenberg mentioned that there's a lot of 1-3-1 play in the KHL. More defensive style. Rottenberg believes the NHL is more suited for Demidov's style of play. And that is an idea that I think works very well when you just sit back and think about it. KHL, defensively minded hockey, they don't like to dump and chase. They like to just hold on to it, gain possession, backtrack, and just trap their opposition. Demidov is more of an offensive, flexible, creative thinking, dynamo playmaker, goal scorer, everything, all situations, offensive guy. And that kind of guy excels a lot more on a smaller ice surface in a more aggressive atmosphere like the NHL. So, Roman Rottenberg going out there and admitting that, that's awesome. Furthermore, he also had this, Roman Rottenberg's message to Ivan Demidov translated into English via Nick Butnot on Twitter. Vanya Demidov and I made the joint decision that he'll now go to the NHL. He'll get a chance to get used to a new country, a new league, to feel more comfortable. Moreover, in the NHL playoffs, Montreal can face Washington, and the guy who grew up in SKA will meet the best sniper in the world in Alex Ovechkin. That would be a great story. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was talking about, getting that Russian connection in there, just so they could say that it's there. I can only wish Vanya success. He knows very well what aspects of the game we recommend him to pay attention to. Moreover, the rights to Demidov will remain in the SKA. We will always be glad to see him on our team. In the SKA system, we try to harmoniously develop him, not only hockey skills, but also character and mental preparation. Oh yeah, mental preparation, you definitely did that. I'm sure that Demidov will be the leader of the Russian team at tournaments of the highest level, as he became at the victorious Channel 1 Cup. He will bring the country victories over Canada, gold at the World Championships, and the Olympic Games. We are glad that we had a hand in the development of a talented player. Good luck to you, Vanya. And I'll say this right here. We'll see whether or not Demidov leads Team Russia to gold medals, because as long as Team Russia's not participating in these tournaments, he's probably going to have to wait a while. But still, this extra info, I think, is pretty great to talk about. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Roman Rottenberg's commentary on the matter and how all of these new things are starting to make it seem like maybe SKA were not really the bad guys after all. Okay, they did bench him and scratch him and stuff, and it wasn't great there, but still, maybe they're not as bad. Who really knows? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Ivan Demidov and all this new info that we have been seeing. I hope you enjoyed this video, and Bye.